The game of cat and man.
This has to be one of my favorite The Sandman episodes. It's a bonus episode, episode 11, and it actually features 2 stories. The first one being A Dream of 1,000 Cats. Honestly, this should be a series because I thoroughly enjoyed it. It starts off with a little kitten who is being put to bed by her cat daddy, or his cat daddy, whatever. At night, the cat from Pet Sematary is like, you gotta come out here. Now, these cats do talk to each other. Their mouths don't move. They do it like the old style way, I guess, where the cats talk with their minds or their bodies, which is a lot more realistic in my opinion. So the old cat coaxes him out. After the kitten finds a way out, the old cat helps her. Getting some video game vibes from here. It looks like you just went into the first player mode in that Stray Cat game. I did have to look up if the cat dies in this dream thing, and yes, there is actually a really disgusting scene that is very depressing. You don't actually see contact being made, but baby cats do die, and it's disgustingly evil the way they do. The visuals are so beautiful. Like, this right here could be a painting. Anyway, many cats go to this meeting place, and they meet an old Siamese cat. She's very elegant, and she tells everyone a story. At first, I was wondering what this has to do with the Sandman, but it actually does tie in, and because of what we've seen in the rest of the episodes, what happens here makes total sense.
Others, good hunting. Some of you have traveled far to hear my message today. Left your warm, comfortable places. And I hope, when I have finished, you will all share my dream.
You see her slight head movements as she's talking. I think it's very clever the way they did that. Her voice fits the breed very well, fits her personality. I absolutely love her, and I honestly wish that this was an actual series. I know that there's a book series called Warrior Cats or something like that, and I believe I started it a long time ago, but didn't finish. There was also another dragon book that also kind of offshoot cats and dragons having some kind of relation to each other, and I got pretty far in that, at least the first book, but didn't completely finish it either, you know, school and whatnot. But this really made me want to see something like this. Like, if Netflix picked up something like this and this was a whole series, I would totally watch it. What was that old cartoon with the rabbits down under or something? Watership Down. I read the book and I watched the animation for it like a few years back, and oh my god, they need to have something like that with cats. And so far, from what I know, they have not put it on screen yet. So seeing this was actually a breath of fresh air, especially seeing it from an animal's point of view, because you know me, I love telling stories from the animal's point of view.
I fooled myself. Oh, they fed me and gave me comfort. They served me. All they asked in return was my affection.
So she's talking about her experience, and I like how she said they served me because, you know, I'm a god, and see, it really made me feel like, oh boy, I know exactly where this is going. Before she even said anything, I knew exactly where it was gonna go, and I held my breath the whole time. I was getting so stressed out, my partner had to keep telling me, remember it's not real. Meanwhile, I'm freaking out because I can't help it. I don't like any portrayal of dogs or cats being killed, maybe because it hits too close to home for me, but something happens, and if you don't want to know what that is, you can skip past it. I'll put the marker there for you. That is the only time I will be okay with people getting a trigger warning. Overall, I think trigger warnings are stupid, but when it comes to pets that are members of the family, especially dogs and kitties, the sensitivities are a little more high with those. Most people won't have horses or rats as pets, or reptiles, or spiders. You'll cry if you see a spider that you know die, but you won't cry if you see others die. That's because pets are now seen on the level as humans somewhat because they're considered family members, at least to most of us in the West. Anyway. Oh my. That male cat's got it going on, though. He knows exactly what he's doing. I like how she turns away and she's like, I'm not gonna look at you. I'm not interested. Then she turns back because she can't help it. I mean, look at that. If you were a cat and you saw that walk by and you're like, damn, that tail though, that smoldering Johnny Depp look. He's the kind of cat that's been around the freaking block.
This is the guy in the house doing all the fucking. Am I right? You know I'm right. This guy fucks.
Thank you.
Then she goes into telling everyone about this dude. She said he was strong and fast, and his claws and teeth were sharp as winter, which is a very interesting way to compliment a male cat, his claws being sharp, because I guess that is their, you know, it's where the magic happens, right? Your fangs.
He was my choice of lover. I never saw him again, but I did not forget him.
Yo, that cat's a Chad. That's how they roll, though. I remember when I lived in my country, we had so many freaking cats. Like in our little cul-de-sac, I owned all the cats in the entire neighborhood. It was a very quiet and quaint neighborhood, and all the cats were automatically mine. You know why? Because the feral cats, the male cats, would go around the neighborhood and they would make that call. You know that call I'm talking about, that weird yowl, like, I would hear it every freaking morning, and that was their way of calling all the female cats. And that cat, or those cats, fucked every single one of my cats and then gave them kittens. And then those female cats would stay with the moms while the sons went away to go get their own cats in other neighborhoods. And then, you know, the fathers would come back and smash all the daughters, and then they'd get kittens. And you see where I'm going with this. With cats, their greatest joy is being given the offspring of a very strong male cat who rules the territory. I got to observe that too. Just one male cat that usually just rules a territory. And you'll hear cat fighting if another male cat, probably one of his sons, comes around and he's like, you know what, I want to smash mom and sis. Because yes, it sounds disgusting, but that is very commonplace in cats, incest. So anyway, a lot of Targaryen and Lannister shit going on, and they would fight. Hopefully the father wins. What does it really matter? Because if brother's not smashing, father's smashing, so it's freaking gross. For all we know, the kitten in the story is probably related to that cat too, and she doesn't even know. It's just funny hearing her talk about it, because it's how cats actually feel based on their actions. Or I'm guessing that's how they feel. Anyway.
I didn't remember my own mother, but I vowed I would be different. I would teach them how to wash, how to stalk silently, how to hunt.
Now, this is the part that just makes me very sad. Because, yes, trigger warning, this is where it happens. This is where, right after this, you know, because she's a pedigree cat. And you see, the argument just makes no sense to me. And the humans are freaking assholes. And I wish they were the ones that drowned. Okay, I kind of gave it away. Sorry. That's what happens to the kittens. If you don't want to see it, just skip past.
You knew she was in heat. Why didn't you keep her inside?
I think they're kind of cute.
Cute. She's a purebred registered Blue Point. These are half-breeds.
And because he has said this, with her being a pedigree cat, you know what he's going to do with the kittens. Nope, instead of surrogating them or giving them out to somebody else, or at least letting them be weaned and then giving them away, he opts to throw them in a freaking river. And I'm not going to show it because it's just so fucked up. He opts to throw them in a river. Like, it wouldn't have taken that long, and you could have even found a surrogate mother. Anything, a pup that's still nursing, a cat with only one kitten. Wait till they're weaned. I mean, it's your fault that this happened, so you should at least own up to it and take the responsibility. What kind of awful, disgusting people drown baby animals? Like, I mean, it would have been more humane to freaking feed them to a snake. And it sounds horrible me saying that, but at least their energy, their life force is not wasted. Somebody else is getting something out of it. That would have been actually more respectful than freaking wasting their life and putting a brick in some bags and just sinking them. You don't even kill them first. I just don't even. It just brings back so many bad memories because I remember some Russian chick and her boyfriend laughing as they were tossing newborn puppies into the river. That video was on YouTube. Yeah, and it stayed up there for a while. And guess what? Guess what, people? Yes, I'm going to use this moment to rant. That video stayed up there for a long while and was not age restricted. But yet my review on Alien is ad limited and age restricted when I have not, just for showing a freaking android robot and his head sitting next to his body, because there's nothing else I can think of that violates those rules. But yet we have animal abuse channels that are doing that crap, staging these animals in danger on purpose, and they're completely fine and not age restricted at all. Huh, ain't that quaint? Ain't YouTube a wonderful liberal place? I'm sorry this set me off, but it just... Anyway, the cat knows what happens because I guess in this world, cats are telepathic. The wife is a stupid idiot because she's so freaking weak. She knows exactly what her husband's going to do, and she's just like, and then she calls him after he's already left like a damn idiot, and then has a nerve to be like, I feel so guilty. Bitch, no you don't. Because if you felt guilty, you would have stopped him from doing that. You'd have stopped him from just wasting them. He's like, I'll take care of it. You know exactly what that means if a guy says that. I'm sorry, but I would have fought tooth and nail. I love my husband, and I would do anything. I am very submissive, and I am completely fine with being submissive in the relationship. Except for when it comes to something like that, where you're going to put another animal's life in danger. It's not even some random animal you're feeding to your dog or your fish or whatever like that. It came out of your cat, a member of the family. Seriously? and then you're just gonna throw them in a river? I'm sorry I'm staying like so hard on this and ranting about it. It just really annoys the shit out of me. And what's more difficult is that the mother cat at this current stage, while the kittens are still feeding, they're brand new kittens, she is going to be depressed. When they're weaned, the mother has already started to kind of disconnect and like, all right, they can take care of themselves, get away from me. They still miss their kittens, but at least the kittens are at the age where they can leave the nest and explore, and she's not as anal about it. But at this current time, while she's nursing them, the mother's maternal instincts are so freaking through the roof that if she doesn't see her kittens for a while, she goes into depression. And it's so sad. You claim you love your cat and you do that to her. I suppose it's better than having them slowly starve to death or freeze to death, but freezing would have been better than drowning because at least they would have gotten really, really uncomfortable and then numb and fallen asleep. But drowning is one of the worst ways to go. At least it didn't last very long. But Jesus Christ.
What are you gonna do with them?
Don't worry. I'll take care of it.
Oh!
Why are you calling him after he's running? What? You freaking... Oh, God, have mercy. I hate this so much. I love this episode, this story, but God, I hate these human beings. I hate them. Should have ran over a damn foot. Freaking dress looks like a broken down mop that you get from Dollar General or Dollar Tree or something. Look at you. Looking like a plastic used Christmas tree. Yeah, anyway, the mother can feel what is happening to her kittens as it is happening. I wish I never saw that scene.
Felt them thrash and claw sightlessly. Felt them call to me in their fear. And then they were gone.
I love how this cat just randomly starts licking the little female kitten as if to comfort her for the story to make sure that she's okay. I thought that was very sweet. And it was so depressing seeing this mom go through this. And in the background, you can hear the stupid guy being like, she's probably just relieved. She's probably relieved. She doesn't mind. She's okay. Like, I feel like that's how people in medieval times used to treat women. Ah, damn it. It wasn't a girl. I'll just throw it in the garbage. The mother's crying. There. We'll have another one. It's okay. You'll be all right in a few days. Like, dude, I just lost my freaking child after you threw it into the damn ocean or chopped it into pieces and you're saying I'll be okay? Like, I don't even... Empathy. Hello. Sympathy, at least.
For God's sake, it's not as if she understands. I mean, look at her. She's probably relieved. Who'd want 4 screaming brats around?
You're probably right.
Honestly, this gives me a lot of insight into the relationship between these two. Maybe the woman that's married to that guy didn't want kids either. I have a feeling she did, and she doesn't have her own identity. There's a difference between being submissive and being a freaking slave. One is where you choose to follow someone or have them take the lead because you respect them and trust them to do so. And the other is when you feel like you have no choice. There is a freaking difference. And I wouldn't be surprised if this woman has been hurt by this man, maybe emotionally, verbally, or whatever else. It's like she has no shred of her own personality. You're probably right. You know damn well. And the facts he's saying, like, who would want 7 or a few yowling brats around? The kittens aren't even yelling. They only cry when they're hungry. I can say for a fact because I have been with my cats through many, many litters, and you hardly ever hear those kittens. The only time you hear them is when they're hungry, and Mama Cat, she never hunts too far away because our cats were outside cats mostly. But whenever they had the kittens, they would have it in my like clothes drawer and stuff. Or Snow White, the oldest female of the community and my cats, she would have her kittens behind the gas pump, like inside of her house, but it was on our patio, but it was covered by a grill. And it was basically inside the house, sort of. It's like the sunroom area, but it's concreted, like that leads to the outside in our backyard where we hung up the clothes. And it was very warm back there, and she knew she could leave her kittens there because we were there. And if the kittens started crying, I would go and comfort them, but they wouldn't be crying for very long. You know why? Because Snow White, or whichever mother had the kittens at that time, Lily, Tulip, Tasha, they would all come back immediately. It would only take all of 2 minutes. You would hear the mother crying from a distance away as if to tell her children, I'm coming. And then she would jump over the wall and come over and feed her kittens. They're crying for all of 2 minutes. And the rest of the time they're sleeping. You do not hear them at all. So I don't know what the hell he's talking about. What a horrible person. Why do you even own a cat? It's clear he doesn't love her. So this is when the cat realizes that she is subordinate. The cats are subordinate. They are not. As free as they they thought they were. She has a dream that she's standing on the skulls of human beings, and I honestly can't blame her because a mother's wrath, man, that will do it. I think in that moment, if she had the power, she would erase all human life off the planet. Then this creepy crow talks to her, and she basically asks to see the whoever, this legendary thing, which we know to be Dream. He tells her the way is dangerous. She's like, I'm a cat. I don't need any console or consort. She goes through the forest of ghosts where she can hear her dead children calling out to her, but she keeps going. She treks tirelessly through the wintry plains. It seems as though she's traveling for a very, very long time. And what I found really interesting is when she gets to the lair of the dream god, she sees these three animals, a Pegasus, a griffin, and a dragon, these mythical beings standing guard, which we have seen in the regular Sandman episodes. On a side note, I did not notice a sleeping woman on that mountain. Anyway, you can see his castle. There's a dragon right there, a griffin, and a Pegasus. As he starts to enter, you see them move as if they're acknowledging or trying to see who is coming in, and they're very beautiful. These mythical creatures are perfect for being the guardians of the entrance. And as you can see, in her universe, or her dreamland, there's the griffin, there's the Pegasus, and there's the dragon. Only the palace looks different, and there's a reason for this.
Returned to me, and I found myself at the mountain. I have come to see the Cat of Dreams.
Why should we let you in?
So she gives some explanation as to why they should let her in, and they're like, good enough. I love how this girl stands her ground. She is so brave. She's a freaking warrior, and I think that's what helps her on her journey. She goes into this cave, and honestly, I was kind of freaked out when I saw him. He's so beautiful. This looks like a cutscene for a mobile game or something. I played enough of them to know. And what do you know? This beautiful, majestic cat is actually Dream for the regular episodes. So this universe, Dream is a cat, which would explain why in hell, the African or Egyptian woman, I'm not really sure what country she was from, that's why she saw Dream as somebody different. I think in different cultures and different creatures and across different species of animals, everyone sees Dream as their own species.
Why do we live as we do? I don't understand.
Oh my god. So he tries to explain to her, scared the shit out of me. Anyway, he tries to explain to her why she feels the way she does and the past of cats and how their life ended up the way it is. So he tells her, little sister, look into my eyes. See as I do. And it's apparently a situation where cats were much larger than humans, and people used to serve them. I mean, there's freaking clothless humans all over cats, petting them and massaging them. They were basically gods. Sounds like an Egyptian lore to me. At night, these cats would hunt these humans and torture them until they ate them. Then one day, one of the humans rose up and told the other humans, it was about 1,000 of them, to dream that things will be better, that this world would be different, that they would not be hunted anymore. And then something amazing happened. The dream came true.
Dreamed, and the next day, things changed. We were prey to them, to dogs, their metal machines. We were tiny.
And you know what? I don't even know if it happened the very next day. Maybe because Dream, Morpheus is an eternal being, her seeing things through his eyes looks like it's going really fast. But technically, that's kind of what prehistoric cats were, right? Saber-toothed tigers and whatnot. They were huge animals. I mean, they weren't as big as what we saw, but for all we know, maybe in this universe, there were cats that existed like that. What he's trying to tell her is, no, they didn't dream it and it came true. They dreamt it. And this is how now things always were. It's as though they created a reality where they were never hunted.
Dreams a world, so it was always the way it is now. There was never a world where cats reigned. They changed it from the beginning of all things to the end of time.
Didn't Dream, wasn't he the one who granted them their wish though and made that come true? Like, wasn't he the one who did that? Just saying. He's like, well, enough people dreamed it, and like 1,000 people dreamed it, so I made it come true. Yep, sounds like some biblical stuff. But instead of the scripture that's like, oh, where 2 or 3 are gathered, you know, basically the Lord can do anything, which doesn't always really work that way, but getting 1,000 people together in this world and a whole bunch of people believing that can move mountains, but that was a pretty big mountain to move. So she goes out every night so that she could spread her word. And my thing is, They have a little cat door for her, right? They got upset because when she was in heat, they didn't keep her inside. But if he's so proud of his high point Siamese purebred cat, why would you just let her walk around freely where she can fight other cats and get scars and get run over by cars? Like, I don't even understand. None of that makes sense. Why would you not keep a cat like that inside or have a dedicated yard for them with a cat gym or a run or something? Like, my thing, I would have been the kind of cat mom to build like a sanctuary with enough land and have very high walls I know the cats can't scale, because after a certain height they just can't, especially if the wall's very smooth. And then just have a bunch of gyms and built-in trees that they can go through and hide in. Would need enough land, yes, but his behavior doesn't match with his later actions, which is letting the cat go outside. Look, I'm all for cats going outside and living their best lives. It would stress me the hell out, but technically in my country that's what we did. The cats went outside, they hunted, he gave them food, but most of their diet came from hunting the rats and mice, monkeys, and other small animals in the area. It just makes no sense to me. He's obviously not that worried about the cat.
A bare 1,000, we can dream a world where no cat suffers, where no kittens die cold and alone.
So the Miyuka's like swelling and she's really inspired and talking to them, but these cats are just like, oh, whatever. And she's like, I'm gonna keep spreading my message and I'm gonna keep doing it until I die or till enough people believe me. When she jumps down, the kitten stops her and says that she believes her. And she says, well, then there's hope, my child. And then she saunters off. The male cat brings the kitten back to her home, and he doesn't have hope for anything. He's like, good luck trying to get cats to do anything at the same time together. It's like the saying, herding cats, because trying to get them to all go in the same direction or do the same thing at the same time is very hard to do. At the end, the kitten is dreaming, and it's so cute, because when you see what she's dreaming about, you're like, oh God.
Cute. It is. It's really cute.
I don't know why that scene was so disturbing. I think it's how hard the kitten's poor little jaws slammed down on the imaginary human it was eating. I do have a question though. If cats managed to do this, will they have remembered that there was a world like that? Would humans have remembered there was a world like that? How many times has this happened where enough cats finally got together and dreamed that this was always their reality, only for humans to take it back from them, and then cats to take it back from the humans, and then somebody else take it back from them? I mean, what's to stop this from seesawing? Is it just a cyclical thing and Dream is in on it? Who knows? We know that Dream likes to play games and hedge bets with people's lives, because he's done that with the guy who lives and they meet every 100 years. I just thought it was a very interesting episode. If you guys haven't watched The Sandman, it's really cool. It helps to lend some insight, and the other later part of the episode with the second story of episode 11 really gives more insight into Dream's past, and it ties directly in with the universe, and it's very important. Thanks so much for watching. This has been Ultiori. You ask, we answer.